Hey everyone, Matt Cellitti with Dubspot. I'm a course designer and director of our online school here, and I'm looking at some of the brand new products in Native Instruments Komplete 10. Some great new synths in here. We're going to show you how they work and why you're going to want to use them. All right, let's get back into looking at some of the new products inside of Komplete 10, and I want to start with Polyplex today, which is a phenomenal new drum sampler from Twisted Tools, collaborated with Native Instruments. If you've ever seen anything from Twisted Tools, you know they make cutting-edge reactor ensembles, and we've reviewed and done tutorials on many of them here on the Dubspot YouTube channel that I recommend you check out. All right, so we're going to create just a couple things inside of Polyplex, inside of Ableton Live here today. So first thing, I'm going to use a version of Contour, which is also a new synth, and we're just going to use it to supply some melodic material for our drum programming. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm embarrassed for myself. All right. I'm going to go ahead and put this in scale mode. Sounds great. And let's just quickly throw down some melodic material. The scale mode is honestly really inspiring every time I sit down with it. Let's just quickly throw something down. You can also see there's a bit of aftertouch, which I've assigned to basically filter cutoff right there. And yeah, it's working real nice. So that's going to go ahead and supply us with something to write to. Now, as you can see, this resides inside of a nice little group instrument rack, which I just so happen to have here, called Complete Control VST.ADG. So when you get home and you install Complete Control, it comes with Ableton support, MIDI remote scripts, documentation to kind of get you up and running inside of the DAW. So let's quickly go in and load up an instance of Polyplex drums, digital drums. Wow. Check out this. This is a great little kit here. So we're going to make kind of like a dancier type of tune. And let's go ahead and open it up. Now, what is Polyplex? This is a 8-voice polyphonic drum sampler capable of creating awesome 4 sample layers for each of the cells, if you will, and capable of very smart randomization on your kit, meaning you can turn this into a completely different kit with a touch of a button. So it sounds like this. Actually, let's just sequence something real quick. Let's do a little 2-bar, and let's write something. Get my metronome on. Here we go. All right, so as I mentioned, you can completely randomize this entire kit if you want, just by rolling the dice. Let's hit play. If you don't like it, just undo, 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 and get back to normal right here, right? So what we're capable of doing now is working with this in different ways. And what I love about this is how it's integrated on the Complete Control keyboard. You can see each cell is color-coded, and you have this octave here of red keys, which are essentially different scenes, meaning I can take this and edit this kit differently depending on what scene I'm triggering. So for instance, this is kind of an intro. I'd want to probably not come in with the kick so hard. So let's actually take out some of these layers. Same thing with the snare. I kind of like it as just only claps to start, so I can even come in and change the type. Maybe I want to layer this with a snare kick combo, who knows, but I think I'll just go in and do snare claps and play through the samples to see which ones I like. From here I can even like pan them differently. Stack them, tune them, and pitch them in different ways. For a nice little housey feel, I might even go in to the envelope and maybe put a little delay on one of these claps. Kind of creating a little ghost note sound. And let's just turn the volume down on that layer. And you know what? If I actually want to mix this, well, I can just easily come in and adjust the balance. For instance, sound 2, let's just go ahead and reduce the volume. Perfect. So right away you can see easy workflow. I've just changed some essential parameters and everything looks and sounds great. Now, what if I want to actually tweak this a bit differently? Let's go ahead and actually highlight these and copy and paste them down here. So this is my intro, and then this I might come in with the power, if you will, and actually let's go ahead and trigger scene 2, which is the default. Right? Now, how am I going to trigger this differently? Well, the first part was C, so let's go find my C2 and just write it in here. And then on the second clip, we'll go ahead and change this to D, which is triggering the next scene. So really easy to kind of come in. Let's look. Here's the intro. And come in with the power. So from here, we can start adjusting even more. And whatever I do in this scene will not affect the first scene. So essentially, I can create 8 different drum kits altogether. Even if I just totally randomize the entire thing. Or if I just say, you know what, let's change the snare up a little bit. Sounding real nice. And because what's really important in drum sequencing is that you want some variation. You don't want everything to get so loopy, so little things like this can go a long way. Now you can even copy and paste up here, and I can select this and then paste it again so everything changes, right? Now maybe on this one I want a splash of reverb on the snare. And again, it's not affecting anything else anywhere else. Let me come back real quick. I don't like this pan. I can just right click here and it'll set to default. Lovely. Now on the effects, lots of effects to choose from, some crazy, some normal. For instance, there's some really cool little particular things, like instance on this reverb, there's a nice like kind of gated effect. And then also an option of, what can we do here? Let's take that hold off. And we can do this interesting kind of MIDI ramp. Check this out, kind of like an envelope. Lots of fun. And of course, you can select which of the cells is responding to this specific modulation. Fun stuff like that, right? What else? Well, from sound design perspective, you can just totally destroy your sounds. Let's just listen to the kick. And we can do interesting things like, oh, I don't know, reverse specific parts. probably choose a different sound. Mechanical. Add a drill layer. This one will do a tonal synth sound. This one is terrible. There, that's much better. Let's do like a sub kick. Very nice. What else can I do from here? Well, maybe we want to get crazier and start adjusting, modulating things. Let's look up here on the first. Maybe I want these hi-hats bouncing all over the place, right? Well, let's go in and look. We have LFO and envelope modulators. So on the LFO, I could go ahead and say, assign this to pan, and let's put it in an amount, and right away you can see it affecting with a sine wave LFO modulation. Choose a different waveform, kind of get it all random, happen fast, increase the frequency, and spread this out so it's way more random in general, and we can have the hi-hat bouncing all over the place. As you can see, this bar will kind of set a layer. So imagine doing this, adjusting pitches, envelopes, decays, EQ, filtering all over the place. Whatever you can imagine. Maybe on that kick, I wanted an actual, like kind of a pitch envelope to happen. So we can go in with the envelope. Get a different tone. Remember, all these changes only reside in whatever scene I'm doing. So imagine your workflow. You know, we spend so much time creating all these different variations, using multiple kits, searching for samples forever. It's all right in here in one instance, real quick, real easy, totally creative, totally fun. I can't get enough of this, but you know, some people might think, why do I need another drum program? Well, it's always going to depend on your workflow, and it's always going to inspire you differently creatively. So as far as I'm concerned, I can never have enough drum programs. And this one is kind of residing in my new favorite folder. All right. So check it out. Enjoy it. Hope you like this.